Have you ever wondered what birds are saying when they chirp? Welcome to an exploration of the captivating world of bird communication. Just like us, birds have their own unique language, a rich tapestry of calls and songs they use to connect with one another. Whether it's a simple chirp, a complex song, or a warning call, each sound is a meaningful piece of the grand avian conversation. Understanding these calls is not just a fascinating pastime, it's also a valuable skill for nature enthusiasts and birdwatchers alike. It offers a rare glimpse into the lives of these feathered creatures, allowing us to appreciate their behaviors and interactions on a deeper level. Birds employ a myriad of calls to express emotions, signal danger, attract mates, and even to deceive. So let's dive into the intriguing world of bird language and decipher 25 common avian calls. First up, we have 5 common avian calls that you may have heard in your backyard or during a nature walk. Starting with the familiar, let's delve into the world of bird language, beginning with the alarm call. This call is a bird's way of saying, "Danger, danger." It's a sharp, loud, and distinct sound designed to alert fellow birds about the presence of predators. Listen closely when you're outdoors, and you might just hear this urgent call. Next, we have the territorial call. This is the bird equivalent of a keep out sign. These calls are distinctive, often melodic, and serve as a bird's declaration of its personal space against potential intruders. They're saying, "This is my place, stay away." Moving on, we have the mating call. This is the bird's romantic serenade, its love song. It's often unique to each species and is used by male birds to attract a mate. So if you hear a melodious song from a bird in the spring, it's likely a love-struck male trying to woo a female. The fourth call we'll discuss is the food call. This is the bird's version of "dinner's ready." It's a call used by parents to summon their young when they have found food. It's a softer, more repetitive call, often heard during feeding times. Lastly, we have the flock call. This is the bird's way of maintaining contact with its flock during flight or while foraging for food. It's like saying, "I'm here. Where are you?" It's a continuous, rhythmic call, an essential part of a bird's social communication. Each of these avian calls carries a specific message, a unique piece of bird dialogue. They're part of a complex language system that birds use to communicate with each other. So, next time you hear these calls, you'll know exactly what those birds are saying. Moving on, we have another set of intriguing bird calls. We're about to dive into a symphony of sounds that serve as the language of our feathered friends. Our 6th avian call is the distress call. This sound is a bird's cry for help, typically when it's caught by a predator. It's a loud, frantic call that's designed to attract the attention of fellow birds. Picture a sparrow in the clutches of a hawk, letting out a high-pitched, rapid-fire chirp like an urgent SOS. Next up is the warning call. This is the avian equivalent of shouting "look out" in a crowded room. It's a sharp, loud call that's used to alert other birds of an approaching danger. Imagine a crow spotting a prowling cat and letting out a harsh caw, like a sentry sounding an alarm. The 8th call in our list is the contact call. This is the bird's way of staying in touch with its flock. It's a short, sweet call that says, "I'm here. Where are you?" Picture a group of starlings scattering in flight, each one chirruping softly to keep track of the others. Next, we have the beg call. This is the sound that baby birds make when they're hungry. It's a persistent, pleading call, like a toddler asking, "Feed me, feed me." Picture a nest of hungry fledglings, their beaks wide open, all chirping in a chorus of high-pitched demands. And finally, the 10th avian call is the roosting call. This is the sound that birds make when they're settling down for the night. It's a low, soothing call, like a lullaby sung at the end of a long day. Imagine a flock of sparrows huddling together in a tree, each one tweeting softly as the sun sets. These calls reveal the complex social dynamics among birds. Each sound carries a message, a piece of vital information that helps birds communicate with their flock, alert each other to danger, find food, or simply say goodnight. And that's the beauty of the avian language. It's a symphony of sounds that tells a story of survival, companionship, and the cycle of life. As we delve deeper into the world of bird language, we encounter even more diverse calls. Let's start with the flight call. Birds use this to communicate with their flock during flight. It's like a group chat in the sky, ensuring everyone stays on the same path and no one gets lost. Quite the team spirit, don't you think? Next, we have the feeding call. This is the sound of a dinner bell in the bird world. When a bird finds a good food source, it sends out a feeding call to invite others to join the feast. It's a friendly reminder that sharing is caring. Now, onto the assembly call. This is the avian equivalent of a roll call. Birds use it to gather their flock, whether it's for migration, feeding, or just a general meetup. It's their way of saying, "Hey, let's get together." The location call is another fascinating one. It's how birds tell their pals where they are. It's like dropping a pin on a map, but in bird language. It's their GPS, their "I am here" sign. Let's not forget the approach call. It's a polite way for birds to announce their arrival. It's like knocking on a door before you enter a room. It's their way of saying, "Hey, I'm coming over. Are you home?" And then there's the danger call. This is the avian version of a warning siren. When a bird spots a threat, it sends out a danger call to alert others. It's their way of saying, "Watch out, danger ahead." Next is the aggressive call. This is the sound of a bird standing its ground. It's their "back off" or "this is my territory" message. It's a clear sign that someone is not in the mood for visitors. The solitary call is a bit of a sad one. It's the sound of a bird calling out for company. It's their way of saying, "Hey, I'm alone here. Anyone out there?" The nest call, on the other hand, is a happy sound. It's the sound of home, of safety. It's the call a bird makes when it's in or near its nest. It's their way of saying, "Home sweet home." Last but not least, we have the preening call. This is the sound of a bird taking care of itself, grooming its feathers, making sure it looks its best. It's their way of saying, "I'm taking a moment for some self-care." Who knew birds had such a rich and diverse vocabulary, right? And lastly, we have the final set of interesting bird calls. First up is the excitement call, a series of rapid, high-pitched chirps that birds use to express joy or anticipation. This is a call you might hear when a bird finds a rich food source or when a mate arrives after a long journey. Next, we have the play call. This is a cheerful, rhythmic sound that young birds make during playtime. It's a joy to listen to these carefree notes that symbolize the innocence of youth in the avian world. The third call is the begging juvenile call, a persistent and demanding sound made by young birds when they're hungry or in need of attention. It's a call that parents can't ignore. The fourth call is the parental warning call, a sharp, urgent sound that adult birds use to alert their young ones of impending danger. Lastly, we have the courtship call. This is a melodious, charming sound that birds use to woo their potential mates. With these calls, we conclude our list of 25 avian calls and their meanings. In this fascinating journey, we've learned that birds communicate in a language as complex and nuanced as ours. We've delved into the intricate world of 25 unique avian calls, each with its own special meaning. From the vibrant twittering of the finch signaling a new dawn, to the somber coo of the dove conveying a sense of tranquility, each call is a note in the symphony of nature. Understanding the language of birds opens up a new dimension to our appreciation of nature. Whether it's the powerful call of the eagle echoing through the mountains, or the playful chatter of the parakeet in the heart of the jungle, these sounds are a testament to the rich tapestry of life that thrives in our world. Next time you're out in nature, listen carefully and you might just understand what the birds are saying. Don't forget to subscribe to our channel for more fascinating insights into the natural world.